Hello, this is Marcielle and I'd like to share with you a little example on how the group map application works. So when you get the email from myself, you will find that you click launch the app from the email that I've sent you and it'll take you straight through to the application. And the hardest thing will be to think of a topic to brainstorm with. So when you look at this particular screen here, you'll notice that there's a couple of features. Notice here it's got enter a map password. Well, that is something that the computer automatically generates for you. So if you look at this screen here, this is a list of some of the mind maps I've been playing with. And notice down the bottom here, for example, the one called device features, you'll notice it's got golden bull, comma, created 8 days ago. Well, golden bull is the password you give to all the students or participants in a particular lesson. So they log in and they enter their password here where it says enter map password. Here's a couple of other ones. Surviving online study, which again I created 8 days ago. Lucky whale is the password for that one. So we're going to create a new mind map. To do that, you just click on create a map. So I'll do that, and when you click on create a map, you're going to get this screen here, which is blank. This particular product doesn't have all the colourful features that programs like iInspiration, iMindMap and Inspiration have. It works a little bit different. For example, your main thought is still in the centre. So how about everything about flies? So just as a pretend topic here for this exercise. So while most mind maps, for example, you start from the center and you go out, on this particular program you have to click on this grey box here and drag in. So, and when you do, a little branch is automatically created for you. So I might type in flies they buzz, and then I might create another thing. Click on that and I'll expand on that. So I might put there noisy. They make noise. They remind me of the summer days. Maybe flies, for example, biologically they have insects, etc., etc. So you get an idea. Now if you create a link, for example, I'm going to put one here, and it's in the wrong place. So for example, I might put they have six legs, and it's a mistake. All I have to do is grab that idea and drag it to where I want it to fit in, if it lets you. So here, so if I grab that and add it to insects, it's just added that. You can move ideas. The other thing I like about this particular program is that as a group you can delete or edit ideas from other people. So for example, someone might come along and not like my idea of summer days and completely get rid of it, press the delete button and change it to summer, to mornings, or just more, yeah. They can delete it. Now, when you are looking at this particular screen, you're actually looking at your ideas, your mind map. And if you want to see what everybody else is doing, you need to go to group map. And because for this particular example, it's just me, I'm going to go into another map to show you what it looks like when you're collaborating with other people. So I'm going to go back to my home screen here and show you an example that I have started earlier, and I invite you to use this particular example to play with. So for example, the example called favorite apps and features I created an hour ago, and the password is charming moose. So all you would have to do is type the word charming moose and it will open that up for you. All I have to do, because I created it, is click on this list. And before I go there, I might just quickly show you public maps. When you go into the public maps, you'll see every other maps that other people have created for you to play with. And on my maps, I've got the Charming Moose favorite apps. So here's an example I've started earlier, and it's got the input from someone else. And if you have a login name and you log in under your name, the ID will have your name next to it in the report section. But if your users don't have a username, they'll be anonymous. So when I look at this particular map with the other person's input, their IDs are in grey here. So that's the ID somebody else has embedded into this map. If I look at this as a split, it shows me both my IDs and the group's IDs. If I click on group map, I get to see everybody's IDs. Now, here is something that someone else has added. They've put a pro for Kindle and a con. Now, if I wasn't happy with that, I could actually click on that and make changes to it. See how there's a little red button there? I can get rid of it if I want to. When I look at the report section, I click on the reports, and it's actually going to give me a report of all the IDs that have come up and how many of those IDs had support. So for example, here you've got a readout for the different votes for particular IDs and support from a 60 to 100% support for audio notes. And it's got a participation summary. So down here, as I said, if you've got a group of students who have registered and are using their usernames will appear there. But the participant that I invited, he hasn't got a username yet, so he appears as participant 1. And the good thing about that is that you might get a better type of participation from students. If they're a bit anonymous, they might be able to put something more daring in, for example. But on the other hand, sometimes it's nice to know who added what ID. But if people were going to delete IDs, then they probably don't want to say it's them. But anyway, it's a starting point for you to have a look at. And if you want to play with this particular program, by all means join in and find that particular map and have a little play and enjoy it. I've used it with an iPad, I've used it on a laptop, and I'm using it here at work now. So it's pretty nifty, and I'm looking forward to using this in the classroom. And let me know what you think of it so I can share some feedback with Jeremy, who's still very much developing. It's not got the visual pictures that some of the better programs have, but it does the job. It's a group collaborating tool, and it's a pretty good one. All right, I'll leave you with it. Enjoy. Happy mind mapping.